Hi fellow creative people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm an illustrator that specializes in watercolors, and I make these creative process videos where I take you on a journey on how I paint my paintings from start to finish. And starting this week, I will be also introducing a brand new series called Sketch With Me. So if you like the sound of it, consider subscribing to my channel and maybe showing me a little bit of support by giving me those thumbs up on this video. And I hope you're gonna enjoy it here. So guys, I know I mentioned in my previous video that I've got a lot more things planned for you. So starting from this week, I will be introducing a new series called Sketch With Me. If you follow me on TikTok, you might already know that I love creating these very short 30 seconds to 1 minute videos where I basically give you a little tutorial of how to fill up your sketchbook with some sort of project, or maybe use it to experiment with watercolors or other mediums that you use. However, I thought that, you know what, 1 minute or 30 seconds is simply not enough, and some people would benefit of getting an actual little tutorial with me taking you through the entire process from start to finish with materials and little ways of making the final painting. So if you are struggling with an artist block, if you're struggling with any ideas, maybe you know that blank piece of paper is just scaring you, and I know I've been there. I've suffered from that anxiety for 3 years, and it took me a lot of kind of strength to pick myself up and actually start creating. So I want you to feel like, you know, you can just put one of those tutorial videos and just simply create with me and actually feel like you achieved something that day and feel good about yourself. As usual, I will be working with watercolors, but please feel free to use any medium that you're comfortable with, or maybe you want to try a different medium than watercolors. Most of my tutorials will work with different mediums as well. So the first few Sketch With Me videos that I will be uploading on my channel will be done on a separate piece of paper. That is only because I've already done these sketches for TikTok and I don't want to duplicate them in the same sketchbook, hence why I will be working on a separate piece of paper. But please, you do you, work in a sketchbook or as I did on a separate piece of paper. That's completely up to you. With a very new sketching ideas, I will be moving back into the sketchbook, but for the first few videos it's going to be a separate piece of paper, so keep that in mind. I will make sure to list every material needed at the beginning of the video as well as in a description box, so if I have missed anything it will be included in a description box as I edit the video. So yeah guys, grab your sketchbooks, grab those materials, join me on this journey and let's create together. So for this exercise we will need one pencil for sketching, one red pencil, one fine liner, I use unipin, one white marker, I use Posca but you can use any white marker going, a couple of different sizes paintbrushes, 3 watercolors which is yellow, viridian and prussian blue, and 1 white gouache, and a paper with whether watercolor or sketchbook paper. So for this exercise we will draw 3 egg shapes on the paper, different sizes, facing different ways, and then we're gonna make it a little bit more of a head shape, giving them necks just a little bit so it doesn't look just eggs on the paper. You can now begin painting those shapes with your yellow watercolor, but before you begin that, grab your eraser and just quickly erase the outlines so you can just about see them. Now with your fine liner you can start drawing faces, nothing complicated, just a few lines for nose, couple of eyes, lips, maybe you want to outline the shape of the head, but keep it simple. Try not to worry if your faces aren't symmetrical, if one eye is bigger than the other, it's all part of the process, so try and enjoy it. If you're too scared to start drawing straightforward with a fine liner, you can use pencil and just sketch the faces first. Now with your blue watercolor, start painting these pointy leaves coming from faces, maybe from the corner of the paper, but keep it simple. In a few places, don't overdo it. for the next part, mix your blue watercolors with green, maybe a little bit of white, and start scattering around your paper these very simple flowers with 3 pointy ends. Each set of leaves and flowers will have a different color, so keep that in mind. Next, with a different shade of blue, start adding these teeny tiny flowers at the top of each person's head. This little exercise is a perfect way to maybe spice up your sketchbook, maybe have a little bit of a relaxing time with yourself, just unwinding, because it is far from perfect, but it's perfect in its own way. Now when you're done with your little flowers, start scattering around the page these little bubbles. Now mix your blue color with white, get a very light shade of blue and draw one line, and on that line just start giving it a little bit of leaves from each side. Try to overlap some flowers, it's going to give it a bit more of a raw feeling. Now with yet another different shade of blue, start scattering around some leaves. Don't overdo with your leaves and flowers, leave some white space in between. Now take black and start filling in that white space with black color. You will start noticing that your image is coming together, but we're not done yet. We will be adding a bit more details to it. To speed up the process of this painting, you can always use hairdryer in between each set of leaves. I know I forgot to mention it at the beginning, but oh well, I'm mentioning it now. Now when you're done with your black and your entire image is completely dry, grab that white gouache and start adding a zigzag on the first set of leaves that you painted, which will be the spiky ones. Also add little dots in the middle of the little flowers that you painted. Don't forget to fill in those blue bubbles that you painted with the white little flower. It will look like a little blueberry. Now with blue color, we will add these sort of lines that represent a leaf on the last set of leaves that you painted. Also, let's not forget about the 3 spike flower and add a little bit of a detail, maybe a folk flower detail or something like that. A few little lines on the light branches. Now it's time to fill in those black spots with your white gouache, just white line art leaves. And if you think that anything is missing at all, grab your fine liner and add a little bit more flowers, leaves, etc., whatever you feel like it's missing. And finally, with your red pencil, give those faces a little bit of a blush. And ta-da! We have a beautiful illustration in your sketchbook, or maybe as a standalone piece like I did, but I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you do have any questions, please leave all of them in the comment section and I will answer them as soon as I can. So guys, yeah, that was it. That's the end of the tutorial, and I really hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. I really hope it gave you more encouragement to start creating, pick that sketchbook or piece of paper and just really get going and start creating. If you do decide to follow me along and create these sketches, and maybe you decide to upload them on social media like Instagram, make sure to tag me at 20th Moves so I can share it with my audience, so I can share it on my stories, on my feed, Just make sure to tag me on the actual photo, not on a description, because it's going to be easier for me to find the post. If you do have any questions at all, leave them in the comment section. I will answer them as soon as I can. If your question is very urgent, DM me on Instagram and I'm more available on that platform, so you've got a better chance of me answering you straight away. Yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and while you're waiting for the next week's tutorial, I will make sure to leave a few videos that you can watch now. You can start learning about textures, of how to apply them in your watercolor paintings, or maybe you want to just relax a little bit, so maybe you want to watch me create a full big piece in watercolor and watch a creative process. I really hope you're gonna go and enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and the rest of really everything. And I hope I'm gonna see your beautiful faces next week in my new tutorial, or this week in my new creative process video that will be live this Thursday. Thank you very much for your support, and I will see you next time. Bye for now, guys.